April in Paris, here comes a jelly. I've got to stop listening to the Goon Show. Right, so for the bodysuit type thing, I'm smacking my head off my light here. There we go. Stay. Oh, hello. Technical problems again. Stay. Worrying thing is that nut is as tight as it'll go. Mind you, that lamp is quite old now. These are the things I have to deal with when I'm filming. It's crackers. I need some proper lighting. That's the long and short of it. Anywho, for this body stocking, we're going to need the base coat of the RLM 74 dark grey blue and stuff. RLM 76 to lighten it, so that's a pale blue grey with that reference number there. And then we need black. Yeah, I know, I don't do black, but I do it for darkening, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Probably not. Never mind. We'll also need a splash of good old X20A. Now, I dug out an old palette that I got from one of those magazine collections years and years ago. I'm going to very, very careful. Oh, flashy batteries again, really? Hold on. See, I learned that one a long time ago. Have two batteries. Charge one whilst the other's working. Never mind. Anyway, X20A. Just a little dollop. It's just so we can thin things down a little bit, because we don't want, even though these are pre-thinned anyway, we don't want them as goopy as they are. We need to thin them down a little bit. It's not much, but it's just enough. So, give them a good shake. Right, where's the X20? So there's the X20 in this one. Yeah. So we want mid-tone there, which is the base colour. Don't need huge quantities. It's literally just a spot in the tub. Get black a good old shake. So we're going with the black. So it's literally 2 drops. And then we get the light colour. Yeah, literally 2 drops. And what we're going to do is, using this lovely thigh pad as an example. You can see all the folds. You can actually see straight away where shadows are and where the highlights are and things like that. So we're literally going to tiny bit of the base colour and then the tiniest spot of black just to darken it. Maybe a touch more. So we're not going full on black, but it's darker than we've already got. Now this brush is probably a little bit too big, to be honest, and then we thin it right down like that, and we're going to layer this on. I've got sticky out hair on my brush, so just let me change my brush. I'll drop you there. You'll have the thin ones. You'll do. Pull and twist to a point, like so. When the camera focuses, I can get close enough with my hands. I'm literally going to pick out a shadow. Just in there. So it's not much, it's just a tiny little hint that there's something there. By the time we finish it, it's going to look like there's hardly anything there anyway, but it's just enough to distract the eye a little bit, so it's not one block of colour. Pick that one, and that's quite a good one. So it's not huge quantities. You know, we're mostly leaving the base coat as it is. It's just the thinnest coat. It just tricks the eye into thinking there's more depth there when there isn't. That's quite a good one. You will need to keep working this a little bit as well, just to keep it going. Don't be afraid of mixing the tone either. Just as long as it's a little bit darker than the grey you've used as your base coat. And this works with any shade. If you can, avoid using white to lighten anything because it tends to give it a chalky appearance. So it's a really good shadow line there. So if you build this up in thin layers, so it's not like a really obvious shadow like I've done like I've done with this fella. It's a really shouty obvious here I am thing. I'm going to focus on you. Come on. It's very subtle, this one on the left compared to the one on the right, where it smacks you in the head and says, yep, I'm there. Just move this a little bit. Let's do that ledge there. Grab that fella there. So avoid the temptation as well of going overboard with this, because you can overdo this, which I've done quite a few times with other models in the past. You know, there's a fair amount of this won't be seen because of how he stands and how he sits on the bike and things like that. But we know it's there. We're taking our time with none of this. And don't worry about little spillages like that I've just done on this ridge, because we can come back with, once this is dried, with the highlight and go over it. It's not a problem. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. As you're going around, it'll look like you're not doing it. There's a few of these that I can't even see now that I've done. Trust me. They are there. They jump out a little bit more once you start getting the highlights on. So the thinner you can get this, the better. Just build it up in layers. Be brave. Back yourself. If I can do this, you guys definitely can too. It's actually quite therapeutic as well. I like that. Okay. Resist the temptation to overdo it. Just do some and then walk away. Give your eyes a break. Give the piece you're working on a break. Okay, so the main torso parts themselves we're going to leave because most of that's covered by the armour pads anyway. So that's not going to make a huge difference regardless of what we do. So we'll go on now with the highlights, and it's the same process. Take your base coat, take a couple of dubs of that, and then a dab of a lighter grey. Don't go too far with the lightening. Lightening. You just want it a couple of shades lighter. It's not much, so it's just changed the flavour of it. I'm going to pick out all the highlight parts, all the lighty bits. Focus. So it's literally just pick out the edges, leave as much base coat as you can behind. So just picking out the tops. Again, it looks like you're not doing much. Yeah, as it's going on here, I'm thinking to myself, oh, I'm barely touching that. But it is. You'll see the shine where it's wetter than everything else around it. But you're literally just touching the tops. And because it's thin, it'll pull a little bit as well. It'll drag down so it looks more natural. So as thin as you can without actually making it pure thinners. That's possibly a little bit too light. So we'll see how that dries, and then if need be we can go back over that. And possibly the wash will take care of that. So we'll let that dry off, see what's what. So what we're going to do now is very gently, very gently indeed, the ridges on the top of the glove, just going to very gently just layer over the brush. So it's almost like dry brushing, just to lighten that up a little bit. And then what we'll do, once this is dried, we'll run a quick wash over that just to get into the grooves, especially on the back of the glove and the back of the hand itself and across the knuckles. So we'll do that across all the gloves. Yeah, I've just painted my cup. Fantastic. Let's finish this arm off. So you can see I'm hoping you can see, I'm barely touching this. So it's literally the point of the brush. picking out the details. Okay, there we go. So we'll leave this to dry for about an hour, and then we'll come back with a quick wash of some description. Before I forget, which I did, we're going to use this grey, as it's called. We're going to use this one for the the strap here on his arm. So I've already done the, what was it, right arm. So it's going to come in very, very gently, very carefully colouring this pad. On the little screen that I'm watching, it doesn't look like a huge difference between the shades, but in real life it is a completely different shade from the base coat. It's just these little subtle changes that make the difference. And we'll do this one here as well on the forearm, for the forearm guard. I've got a loose hair on that brush somewhere. I can see it poking up every now and then, it's annoying me. There we go, right. Now we're going to leave this for an hour to dry. And yeah, things like that. Also off camera, a second ago, I forgot to paint those, so they've been done. So it's the pads across the back of the hand, and then we'll come back and we'll do a wash on those to pick out the groove. Don't know what that is. What is that? No. Right, just going to do my editing now, and I've realised there's an entire bloody clip missing where I use this shade here, the Tank Dark Yellow, with that number there. It's basically a desert yellow. It's the Vallejo version of desert yellow from Tamaya. I actually use this now to base coat the armour parts of the Trooper, having explained in great depth and in great detail that this is a what if build. Which basically, this lad is supposed to be based on Dantooine rather than Endor, and the what if is at the end of Return of the Jedi. You know, it wasn't just a case of hooray we've won and we're off to Coruscant and taking over and things like that. It would have been a process of then having to fight through all the different systems to get to Galactic Center. That was the the big thing in my mind all along. So yeah. Sorry about that, there's an entire clip missing and I can't find it anywhere in any of my pending files. Oh yeah, I know. Oh, it looks as rough as a bear's ass, but it's going to be camouflaged anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. It's just a generalised base coat, and there's still some areas that need to catch, like that one on the backpack thing. Spine protector. I reckon, right, MotoGP and superbikes and all that kind of stuff, if you have a look at the back of them kits, the leathers now, they've got these silly little hump things. I reckon they've got the idea from there. Don't know why I'm doing that. Anywho, that is now the yellow for the camouflage pattern, which will be 3 of the shades of green. So we've just used Tank Dark Yellow, show the people, Tony. The tank dark yellow, which is that number there. I'll put all these in the description, if I can remember. IDF Green will be next. And you basically work now from your lightest to your darkest shade. But we'll cover that properly once all this is dried. And then the Camouflage Green is that number. And Olive Green, which is that number there. And they can go in my nice little pots. Ooh. My nice little pots here, like that. I don't know where they are now, instead of being scattered all over the corners. I've got a battery flashing up here, I'll be back in a second. Okie dokie 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 dokie. Right, so, oh, show the people, Tony. There we go. I see it saying that a lot. Show the people, Tony. Let's take one of those and a breastplate, because it's huge and I can show you what I'm doing. Readjust my lighting a little bit. Ooh, how's that? Okie doke. So, some to my sticky tape. I'll plop it on the bench there like that, and then do that, because that's going to take most of the sticky away. And what we're going to do now is carve little splitter shapes, like so. Doesn't matter what kind of shape we're doing, because we need to keep this as random as possible, and preferably as large as possible for now. When this comes up, come on. Now I could brush paint this, but I'm feeling adventurous, so we'll just stick a blob on there. Stick a blob on here. We'll want to keep as much of this this base coat of desert yellow as possible. We'll stick another one there, like so. I'll stick one up here, and we're just going to basically cover all the pieces like so, and hopefully we shall create a camouflage style thingamajig. Oops, that way round. Like so. And I'm not too bothered about any overhangs or anything like that, just as long as we get the tape in. Now we're using a cocking tail stick. Cocking tail stick. A cocking tail stick, he says, looking for his cocking tail sticks, which are just over here. These little crevices on the armour. Focus, 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 focus. I seem to be shouting either focus or show the people, Tony. That's ridiculous. Anywho, I'm just going to smooth into crevices, stop it, like so. Just to stick it down a little bit. Like so. And by sticking the tape onto the mat as well, this Tamiya tape tends to be a little too sticky for my liking. So by putting it on the mat, we're going to take some of the stick away, so that we're not going to pull any base coat off, because I don't have a habit of doing that for some reason. Oh, we're going all blurry again. I do apologise. There we go. So we want to keep quite decent sized areas of the yellow, like I say. So we'll do a couple of straps at the top, and then what we're going to do with the rest of the chest piece is you spray it in our first shade of green, the lightest green we've got, or indeed whichever colours you've chosen if you're doing a camouflage trooper. I'll stick one there as well. Okay, so I'll carry on doing that. I'll do a time-lapse piece now, and so that you're not sat there watching the same boring thing for quite a while. So yeah, bear with me 2 seconds. Oh, we're doing that one again, really? Kicking the arse out of that joke now. Minutes and a flat battery later that loving camera, and we end up with lighting, shocking lighting. We end up with desert yellow with measles, ready for the painting, the garden and things. Ooh, get rid of you. You need one of these. There we go. And this can either be absolutely spectacular, or it's going to be exceedingly spectacularly rubbish, and you'll never get to see this. Yeah. Oh, crikey. Wait for the compressor to build up pressure. Oh, almost there. What is going on with this lighting? Oh, it's rubbish. Okie doke. So, using level where are we? IDF Green, which is that number there. Like I say, I'll pop these into the description so we can follow these closely. And we're just going to squeeze generous dollop in. Generous dollop. There we go, like that once. Stop it. Quick test of the airflow off to the side. Just make sure that everything's okay. And I'll screw the cap for this one. So I might be here for a while. I will be here for a while. Where's my gloves? Listening to the goon show far too much, I really am. So all that lovely desert yellow, now it's covered up with IDF green. Awesome. One. Turn the pressure down a little bit. That's the best thing about these things. control my pressure from here. Honest. There we go, that's off. There we go, that sounds about right. Yeah, it's better. Two. Hope that got everything. Yes. So the eagle-eyed amongst you, yeah, may have noticed during the time lapse just then that pieces like this I've not done the webbing. That's because I'll be brush painting the webbing a slightly darker green or a different shade of green to the ones I'll be using for the camouflage scheme. So it's going to be like an army style soldier's webbing. So there's going to be a couple of touch-ups and things like that. And that's the first layer of green done. So that's going to be left overnight now because it's getting quite late. And then I'll come back tomorrow in the evening when I get back to do this, and we'll be doing more masking and painting. So I'll see you in the next clip.